Welcome back to our Map of the Month video workshops, part 2 of the USA map. And we spent about 10 minutes already on this map. I want to show you what we've done so far. And I've done a little bit since we ended the last video. You can see I added a little additional coastline shading along the Gulf of Mexico, and I've also shaded the northern boundary between the US and Canada. So I put that green shading along the top. One other thing I've done in preparation for today's video is I've outlined what we call the southwest region of the United States. And a lot of times the country is divided into 5 regions when you're studying the US. So we're going to go with the 5-region plan, and starting with the southwest region today. So let's just kind of get started. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes, so we know how long to go. And now, the Southwest is a good place to start because we can talk about labeling, rules of labeling when you're working on a map. And Texas is a great place to start because it's such a large state. It's an easy state to label, and we can go over some of the rules. Now, when I label a state, first of all, I like to use all capital letters. So also the placement of the name is important too. You don't want to put it too high. You want to kind of center it and put it in a place where you don't have to cramp the letters too much. So I think I'm going to start right about here with my T. That should give me. Now I'm also trying not to get in the way of this. I'll put a capital A here. This is for the state capital eventually. All right, now let me just finish. I'm going to try to space the letters out evenly. Okay, now I'm doing this in pencil first in case I need to erase it. It's very easy to either make a spelling error or placement error. So it's always good to have your eraser handy. Now you can see Texas fits beautifully. It's an easy state to label. Now notice I tried to keep it nice and level too. That's something I'm going to aim for throughout the map. I'm going to try to keep all the state names nice and level if possible. That makes the map easier to read and look nicer. Okay, wasn't a problem with Texas because it's such a large state. When we get into some of these smaller states, it may be an issue, but not a problem with Texas. So we've got capital letters and nice and level. And I left room for the capital, which happens to be Austin. Now, if I think we can refer to the edge of the map. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but there are state capitals shown all along the edge of the map. So if you're not sure, you can find Austin, Texas. Let me get I believe it's down at the bottom here. Yes, there it is, right there. Austin, Texas. So I'm going to go ahead and label that. A-U-S. Now I can use lowercase for the city name. One other thing I'd like to do is add a little color to that star. Now, if you look at the map key, that's the first symbol in the map key. So I'm going to put a little dab of yellow in that star. And we're going to do that throughout the map. We're going to use that same color for each state capital. Okay, we've got one there. Let's do all the 4 states in the southwest region. Now, what is a region? A region is basically a grouping of states or an area that kind of is considered to have certain things in common. And the southwest region, you can see these states have a few things in common. Most of them border along Mexico, and sometimes the climate is very similar within that region. Other similarities, and you'll talk more with your teacher as you learn about the regions. So, okay, let's get another state. Now, this may be a little bit harder. Oklahoma, a little bit smaller area to work with. And I don't want to write in the panhandle up here. That they call that little part the panhandle. So I'm going to start just above the star. That will give me room to fit it, I think. I'm going to write out the whole name. Oh, you can see I did that orange to show the inner edge of that southwest region. Okay, we might do that with the other regions as well. Not today, but I'll show you that on the next video. Okay, Oklahoma is, let's find it along the bottom here, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So if you're not sure of the spelling, well, it's the same as the state, so you might have to write a little smaller to fit it. And you can, once again, you can use lowercase in this part. All right, that's fit okay. And then city, Oklahoma City. Excellent. Okay. Now, once again, you can see I kept the labeling very level. I use capital letters for the state. All right, those two states so easy. Let's do new. There's two more in this region. Let's do these two. This would be New Mexico. I think we can fit that in on 2 lines. Trying to use my neatest lettering. It's a little bit of a shadow there. We might want to hand back just a tad. There we go. Okay. And the capital. Now you could write it to the left of the star, above the star, or to the right of the star. I think I'll start a little bit higher. Santa Fe. And if you weren't sure of that, we have that along the edge of the paper as well. I believe it's down here. Yes, right about there. So what I like to do is I label these states. This is something I like to do. We started off with Austin, so let's start with Austin. Let's put a little shading of color. Watch the shadow there. We can't. Okay, we got to get that highlighted. This will add a nice colorful border, and it'll also kind of show you your progress on the map, how many states you've done so far. We've also got Oklahoma City. You can use any colors to highlight this. Okay, and also Santa Fe. Let's pick another color here. Santa Fe, New Mexico. And what this does, it creates a nice decorative border. You can see I've also done a little bit of decorating on the letters since last time. We talked about decorating the ocean names. And I'll do a little bit more too while we're at it. I don't know if you've had a chance to do that. That always looks nice. Okay, let's see how much time we have. I think we have time to do the last state in the region, so let's do Arizona. This will round out our southwest region. I think I can fit it above, right about here would be good. All right, Z-O-N. I have to squeeze that last letter in there. All right. Okay, and now this is a tricky one. Phoenix. Let's check the spelling on that. Phoenix is P-H-O-E-N-I-X. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Beautiful. All right, so we got the 4 states within that region labeled, and the stars highlighted. See if there's anything else I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so let's plan a little bit on the next video. I'll have the remaining 4 regions shaded and highlighted, and we might tackle the northeast region at that point, which is a little trickier as far as labeling. So I think that, and that's one reason I've kind of held off on the shading. I could do a little bit more, if you want to do a little bit more of the blue shading, but check this out. Just a little bit of, don't go too far up the coast. We want to leave some white space here alongside the map. So don't color too much along the Atlantic coastline yet. We're going to leave that area open so we can have some room for labeling. Maybe for the last little bit of time, I'll put a little bit more color into the title. Talked about that in the first video. All right, 10 minutes is up. Let's call it it's a wrap for now, and we will continue along on our map of the U.S. on the next video. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.